if I'm Nelson, I'm like, listen, I know I'm not going to start right now. I believe in my potential. I believe in my ability. But who am I chasing?
We start our conversation today coming off the back of what we saw in that. And that was, starting from the starting lineup. No Reiss Nelson. Yeah. Arteta continues to persist with Nketiah down the middle and Gabriel Jesus out wide. I don't know, man. I don't want to see this anymore. And we've spoken about this again. More so, what does Reiss Nelson have to do to start for Arsenal and let me add, in an important game? Because we know he will get a Carling Cup, whatever. Like we saw him against Brentford in the Carling Cup where we won 1-0. He scored 8 minutes in. That was the winner. What does Reiss Nelson have to do to start? You gave him a big contract. You kept him at the club. What is it going to take to get a run in the team?
I don't know. I kind of feel like there must be, and again, this is built on the trust that I've given to Arteta because of how we've been playing in the last season and a half now. There must be something tactical or something he doesn't feel he's going to get, which I'm even leaving Saka out of the conversation, that Jesus and Nketiah do give him. I don't know if it's his legs, or if it's a tactical thing, and maybe it's Reiss's own consistency. I did catch like a highlights package of the Tottenham game, and I did see he came off the bench. He didn't really light it up, and he kind of only does come into games when it's kind of like gung ho and we need a goal, and it can just be a lot of chaos. And apart from the Brentford game, which I thought he was pretty much, maybe outside of Tomiyasu, man of the match, he showed that he can run that line. He can get back and defend. He's got the finish. But again, the opposition is Brentford, and like you said, in an important game, I think eventually we're going to just have to give him that chance, and he's going to have to show us that, well, I didn't just stick this guy on 100k roughly just to say we've got numbers, and because he's Hale End, we've got to start seeing that you kept this guy for a reason. Because when he signed, a lot of Arsenal fans were quite surprised, thinking, oh, we thought this was opportunity to free up space in the squad, that he's not really, you haven't really been using him. He's given us some great moments, but outside of that, he doesn't seem like someone that you're willing to use or bring on, except for when we need to just chase a game in the last 5-10 minutes. So again, I thought Bournemouth was another opportunity for him to go again against one of these lesser teams. And also, as we spoke about in our match review, but probably we'll speak about here again, not really feeling this Eddie down the middle and Jesus on the left, and gives us a chance to put Jesus down the middle and still keep that width, because Nelson's no slouch. So he can still keep the width that Martinelli does. And he's actually a very good structure player. Sometimes I wish he kind of had that a bit more flair to his game, but I don't know if he's kind of found when to use that and when to just, be secure with the ball and pass it back into midfield and so on and so forth. So very disappointing. I'm not really sure what more he can do. He got the goal as well, the only goal. He almost got a second midweek. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I haven't got the answer, but I guess all he can do is keep trying to impress in training, and when he's given the opportunities to come off the bench, to make the most of them. Maybe we'll see him midweek, who knows.
Yeah, I begin to think about what is his role in the team. Like, it's clearly on the left-hand side, Martinelli and then Trossard, and you can probably go as far as saying now Gabriel Jesus after that if all fails. On the right-hand side, Saka's the first choice, undisputedly. But then, if Saka's injured now, do we see Vieira on the right? Do we see Gabriel Jesus on the right? Like, you've really got to ask the gaffer, like, bro, like, where, who, if I'm not number one, cool. But who am I after? Like, if Saka can't play for whatever reason, right, they have to go and start Reiss Nelson on the right. Like, in my opinion, like you just made a good comparison with him and Martinelli. Like, Martinelli and Reiss Nelson. Nelson is the closest to what we have in the squad to Martinelli. Yeah. So it's like, why wouldn't you kind of do that, quote unquote, like for like change just there? Like, I really think I don't know, and this is gonna kind of call into question maybe Nelson as well somewhat, because if you're not knocking on the gaffer's door and asking him like, big man, like what do I need to do to at least be in the next in line sort of thing, maybe you're just comfortable. You're just too comfortable at Arsenal, and that's, you don't want to kick on. Because even the likes of we're saying Nelson here, and obviously we're talking about Nelson because we've seen some good performances and he is a winger sort of thing. The likes of Smith Rowe, if Nelson's not interested, Smith Rowe needs to jump the queue and ask Arteta, boy, I can play on the left, innit? Like, so when am I gonna get a chance? I just don't understand why we're over committing to this Gabriel Jesus on the left when we've got guys that have played in these positions regularly and done well in these positions available.
You know what I've realized? I think Arteta is really good at convincing these young men to stay at the club, because it's always like a bit of might leave on a free or might go on and then he has a conversation and then the contract's signed. But I can't really say I've seen that backed up by a starting berth in the team or consistent fixtures in terms of playing time. Yes, last season Nelson towards the end of the season was like the first name off the bench, but now we've kind of added a bit more, and it just seems like similar to what you were saying. And I think you raised a great point. If I'm Nelson, I'm like, listen, I know I'm not going to start right now. I believe in my potential. I believe in my ability, but who am I chasing? Where do you see me best? I'm happy to play wherever you put me, but if you had it your way and everyone stayed fit, who do I need to chase down? Who do I need to, play better than? What do I need to do? So I know in my head, fine, I know I'm playing on the left or I'm playing on the right, and I'm ready to say I need to just chase this person down with my performances and my energy in training. And again, we're just clutching at straws here, unfortunately. It'd be great to have the inside track, but we don't. But of course, I'd just be thinking from what we can see from the subs and from the starting times, and especially even a game like Bournemouth, you would think maybe you could rest a Saka. We hear that he was injured. I know he's integral to everything we do, but maybe you could rest him. Do you think we wouldn't have been able to get through Bournemouth without Saka? I think we would have been able to. And Jesus, could we just play him down the middle? I mean, Eddie's played. I think he's played the most minutes of anyone in the team, or he's definitely up there. He could maybe do with a rest, per se, and give Jesus some more minutes because he's been injured out a little bit. Give Nelson a go. Give Smith Rowe a go. Like, you don't need to over rotate. Just slot in one guy. So I think he's been doing enough. I think again, it's just a bit telling that when you've got your probably the first and the second person who you would have out of the team in terms of Martinelli and Trossard injured, and you still don't start me.
Yeah.
Questions have to get asked. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So I would like to think that these players, obviously, especially with Nelson signing a contract, he's definitely in there saying, okay, like, what's going on? I thought I would have been given an opportunity to start here. And with the Champions League midweek as well, I know it is Lens, potentially the weakest team in the group, and we're away, but it's still the second group game. We still want to be getting points, so you might not go so weak in that game. You kind of want to take it seriously, but I'd still be looking forward thinking, when am I going to get those opportunities to start a few games or to get some serious minutes coming off the bench? Otherwise, another player wears, why did we sign him up? Why do we have him? Why didn't we just go and invest in somebody that you wanted if we were going to be doing this?
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as saying wholesale changes for midweek, and we'll talk on that in a second, but for sure Reiss Nelson needs to be starting against Lens. I don't want to see anything else. I definitely don't want to see Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus. And if he's not showing that desire, I'm not saying kick up a fuss. I don't want any unrest in the Arsenal camp, but I would like to think that behind closed doors you're having words with Mikel, and like you said, the question should at least be, who am I chasing? At least say, if we know Trossard is chasing Martinelli, then you are chasing Trossard. Like, that clarity needs to be established. So Reiss Nelson, we know what the path is into the team, or Reiss knows what the path is into the team, because when he's playing, when he's getting those starts, when he's getting opportunity, he's performing. So why now, when you should be playing in your position, when the people in front of you aren't there? I don't know why you're not getting the opportunity.
Yeah, it is quite unfortunate, and these will be the sort of situations which you don't wish, even as your teammate. You're not wishing they get injured, but when obviously injuries do happen, and you come across this thing, like this situation, you're thinking, wow, my time's here now. You know, I might even go on a run in the team and make it harder for these guys to come back into the team straight away. I know maybe the bar for me making a mistake and coming out of the team might be high, but give me those opportunities to start and to show what I can do. And yeah, and then I'll be happy. You know, at least I know I've got given the opportunity. But to still have two left wingers, like, primarily out, and then you're playing your striker on the left and playing someone in Eddie, who now for the last 3 games in the Prem hasn't really impressed. So again, it leads me to thinking, is it tactical? Is it minutes? Is it fitness? I don't know. But we're 7 games in. You would think at this point that, I know some players still don't have fitness because they haven't been getting minutes, but you think they're definitely going to be ramping up in terms of their fitness now. They'll be definitely in the groove now of, you know, used to playing regular football. So yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it, if in me personally, I think right now, if I'm Nelson, tomorrow morning, Coney, if maybe they'll be making their way back. No, yeah, tomorrow morning or afternoon training, man, they can have a word, just, you know, whenever you're free, you know what I mean? Just give him a little head nod and just have a word and just say, you know, I just want to know where I'm at right now. And like you said, he should be starting midweek against Lens.